Hello everyone, I'm Gul Khan. I'm so excited that you're here with me today. Oh wow, we've got a lot to cover, and hopefully we should not go over 60 minutes. The content will take about 60 minutes, so about an hour or so, and I'll stay back to answer some questions for you if we have any. But I'm so thrilled that you're here. Oh, we're getting people to join us. Oh, fantastic. That's absolutely brilliant. So do type in your questions in the chat box, and I will be intermittently checking to see what questions they are. There is a lot to cover, like I said, so the pace is a little bit fast. But if you do have questions, please do type in the chat box, and I'll intermittently look and see if there are any questions. So let's get started. So my name is Gul Khan, and today we're doing a webinar, well, a workshop. I call it a workshop rather than a webinar because it's supposed to be interactive, and you're supposed to ask me questions. And we're going to be unraveling secrets that 90% of the law of attraction gurus don't want you to know. Now, it may be the fact that they don't know themselves, as some of them don't, and it may be the fact that they don't want this to be public knowledge. Either way, I'm going to unravel everything and lay it bare in front of you, okay? I'm going to go step by step, and let's get started. So I'm going to now share my screen. Let's see, that's it. So I can share my screen with you, and then we can get started. 1 second. Oh my goodness, what's happened here? 1 second. Oh, of course, everything is, oh, here we are. Got it. I thought I lost my presentation for a second. Okay, so let's share my screen. Share application window. Yeah, that one. Fantastic. Brilliant. So I'm assuming you can see my screen now. Can you see my screen? So, yeah, that one. Oh, fantastic. So we can. Okay. So this is the workshop that we were doing, which is 90% of the law of attraction gurus want to keep this secret. Okay. So what will you learn today? Today we're going to discover the truth about an energy. So I'm going to go step by step. The first thing we're going to talk about is your energy. I'm going to reveal to you exactly what energy is and why it's important to you. Okay. The next thing I want to talk about is what is your aura and what are unseen energetic blocks. Okay. I will identify the different types of energetic blocks so that you know why the law of attraction has not worked for you up until now. I mean, everybody knows about law of attraction. I think that's pretty much, if you're here, you probably have heard of it. You know the underlying aspects to it. I'm going to tell you why it has not worked for you up until now. And the next thing I will talk about is, I actually will give you, is my simple yet very, very powerful 3-step formula. This will allow you to upgrade your energetic vibration so that you can take quantum leap forward and thereby changing your reality. Okay. And lastly, I will talk about, I'll actually give you exact steps to a completely new energy and action and destiny with money. Woohoo! Okay, the first thing I want you to understand is you can put away your credit cards. I don't need your credit cards. There's nothing to be sold here. This has got nothing. I'm not selling anything at the end. I'm not pitching anything at the end. So you can keep your credit cards in your wallet and put them away because you will not need them today. This is a purely content-based workshop, and I'm not selling anything at all. So rest assured. So that comes to the question, who am I? So you may not be familiar with me. So who am I? I am Gul Khan. I'm the creator of Secret Door to Success program, which, and I think many of you have now joined my, and the group as well. I have an announcement to make at the end of the workshop. I am running, a fantastic free, again, no cost attached, 6 to 7 day meditation program in my SDDS group. So if you haven't joined already, I will encourage you to join, but I will talk about it at the end of the workshop. But that's a fantastic thing that I've got to do, and I will announce it. But again, no opt-ins required, no emails required, nothing to pay, just purely turn up in the SDDS group, and you get it. But I'll talk about that later. So who am I? I am an energy transformation expert. I'm a trained healer, and I help entrepreneurs, legal executives, generally I'm entrepreneurs, people with ambition, people who want to achieve more in their life. And I primarily focus on females, but I have a couple of male clients as well, but my primary focus is on females because I think they resonate with me well. And I help them get unstuck, help them to get out from their stuck repetitive patterns. And I do this by removing the unseen energetic blocks from the electromagnetic field. I've done many workshops, and I've helped many people over the last 10 years. Now, before that, prior to that, and it seems like, oh my goodness, a gazillion years ago, so almost another lifetime ago, I was a corporate lawyer. I am a barrister with Middle Temple. And that, those of you who don't know that, that's Middle Temple is one of the temples in the UK. I've also requalified as a solicitor, so I'm also a solicitor with the Law Society, and also I am a New York attorney. I qualified with the New York State in USA, and I'm a fully qualified New York attorney. So I am a qualified lawyer in 3 different jurisdictions, but I don't practice anymore. I am no longer a corporate lawyer, thank God. Now, I decided to come out of corporate law because just a quick story. Once I became when I was expecting my first child, my daughter, that was always 10 years ago, and that enabled me to go down a different path and go down a different career, and one which I enjoy a lot more and I find a lot more satisfying. So that's a short intro to who I am. So next question, why am I doing this? Now, basically because my focus has been on money. Reason being, as a lawyer, I earned quite a lot, and I also, being a commercial lawyer, I was used to earning 6 figures on a regular basis. It wasn't something I used to think about. However, when I changed careers and I became self-employed, and I became an entrepreneur, and I've had my own business, money became a big issue. Before I was paid by my employer, it wasn't a big thing about me asking for money. Asking for a raise in salary was not an issue. I would just change law firms, to be honest, and go for an up raise. However, when we have our own business and have to ask for money, there's a lot of blocks come up, a lot of things come up, a lot of self-worth issues come up. And that was one of the biggest things that I realized how I struggled, and I found that 100% of my clients had the same struggles. They struggled with that also. They struggled with their self-worth, and when their self-worth played out, they were not actually making the money. Their income was a real struggle. If they made anything at all, it was abysmal. Hence, I developed, I focused solely on finding reasons why we have blocks in our money, in our abundance. And that's where my practice really focusing on a law of attraction came into play. And then also I did a recent survey. I found, and I asked, what's the one thing that people would change if they could with the law of attraction? And I kid you not, 98% of the people I asked said they would like to have more money. I mean, law of attraction is almost like it's synonymous with having more money. It's become like that. So when people say I want to use law of attraction, I want to use more, I want to manifest more, it typically means more abundance in the area of money. And I find that once your money sorted out, everything else kind of falls into place. Okay. So today, what's my role? My role today is going to be shining the light of clarity. I've made it my mission to shine the light on every single bit of limiting money programming that you have. And therefore, I've created a step-by-step program to eliminate this from your minds and emotions, and especially from your nervous systems, okay? So that's my role, and that's what I will be doing today. So, Okay, so before we get started, I need you to do a couple of things. First of all, like I said, there's nothing to sell here. So this is pure content and we only have 60 minutes. So I will be going through this a little bit quickly. If you have any questions, do pop it into the chat box. But I do also recommend you get a pen and paper and take some notes. Remove all distractions and create a space for your transformation. This is a gift to yourself. So do make this space and hold the intention that you're going to walk away with knowledge which is going to benefit you, and then you can actually use to actually transform your life. Okay? Take it this way, hold the intention that this is for you. Okay? Right, so what is energy? Energy, according to Nikola Tesla, one of my favorite people from the times gone, says, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And he could not have been more correct on this point. The underlying factor for law of attraction is whatever you're vibrating at, that's what you're attracting at. I think everybody knows that, okay? So human energy, okay? Now, there's been many breakthrough researches, scientific researches, which prove that your energy could be the only thing holding you back from a life of success and joy. Your personal energy is an extremely powerful thing that surrounds you all the time. It's everywhere and it's a core part of us, but most people don't know how to manage it, or at least not manage it for their benefit. In fact, most people don't even know that our personal energy can be measured. Yes, it can be measured. And thus, we almost never realize how huge an influence our personal energy can have on our surroundings, and especially on the quality of our lives. Okay, so in this workshop, it's going to be my mission to guide you through the process of 1, recognizing, and 2, measuring your personal energy. I will also show you your potential, which lies in learning to manage and increase our personal energies. You will learn how your energy, you're going to learn how your energy can affect the way your life looks at you, how when you change your energy, things just come to you so easily, okay? How to successfully navigate through your life by just changing and manipulating your energy. Your personal energy is what allows you to live the life that you desire and that you deserve. I'm also going to be sharing with you some scientific researches to prove this point and to bring this point home. And it's empirical evidence which supports everything I've just said. Okay, I'm not talking on woo-woo land. I'm actually talking with scientific research backing the information I just informed you about. First of all, so let's talk about human energy. The idea that energy can move and create is nothing new. Okay, that's given. Okay, throughout history and different cultures, they've benefited by tapping into and working with different forms of energy. I mean, we all know about, for thousands of years, people in China have practiced Qigong, Tai Chi to get the energy moving for health and relaxation. Now, in India, okay, people have sought over great Kundalini energy, the Kundalini energy, got the word right, and awaken, self-awareness and deeper understanding of consciousness and the universe, and to how they can attain pure joy, knowledge, and love. I mean, they do that through yoga poses, and these yogis do it. Another example would be in Japan. Reiki has healed countless people simply by working with individuals' energy. So, I think most people here would be familiar with Reiki too. So what's new? New is the fact that only recently energy work has emerged in the West, and for those who experience its amazing powers. So it's become popular over the last 20, 30 years in the West. And I think more and more people are waking up to the phenomenal results that working with energy can actually have. Not just working with the physical body, but with the energy body as well. So now let's track your energy through your aura, okay? Now, for those of you who don't know what an aura is, your aura, again, I'll go through this slowly because I know this is where it gets a bit deep. Your aura is a luminous light that radiates from your entire body, and those who are spiritually open and aware can sense this aura and even see it. For example, if somebody's clairvoyant, I am gifted I'm a gifted clairvoyant, so I'm able to see auras, and I'm able to decipher what's going on with somebody's energy and where they are, and in terms of health-wise, as well as circumstances-wise, because I can see auras. Okay, now the wonderful thing is that each aura corresponds to a color, so I can see the different auras, different colors rather, and but each color holds a special meaning for each person. So when somebody asks me, oh well, if you see red, what does that mean? Red could mean one thing for one individual, but could have a completely different meaning for another individual, depending on what the interpretation is and how they, it's very subjective too. Now, for example, green is associated with balance and harmony, while blue is associated with calmness and peace. So your aura can also act as an indicator of your physical and mental health. Those who meditate or undergo energy healing often experience an expansion of those auras immediately after a session. Okay, even in ancient martial arts, aura has been noted and studied for this reason. Okay, because you expand your personal energy, your energy body, you can expand. Your physical body is limited and it's finite, but your energy body is infinite. Now, a big part of my work has been inspired by a special book that I stumbled across quite a few years ago. It was called Power versus Force, and it was written by Dr. David Hawkins. Now, it clarified something that I was seeing in my practice. I was observing that when I was observing someone's energy, I could determine if somebody was going to create a life of love and desire, or was they going to deteriorate and go down pretty much down the sink. If they were building up to have a disaster in their life. Now, thanks to Dr. Hawkins, I learned that anyone's energy can be measured with the research-proven scale of energetic frequency. Now, I'll talk about this in a bit, okay? Now, I want you to have a look at this screen of mine at the moment. These are Kirliani photography, okay? And this evidences what an aura is. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I'm what's called a clairvoyant. I can see auras and I can see people's energetic fields. However, those who cannot see auras, because not everybody's a clairvoyant, actually there's I think 0.1% of people are able to do that, have that gift. So it's a rare gift. However, you don't need to have that gift anymore. I mean, science has moved so far beyond that you don't really need to see that gift. You have that gift to see the auras. We have special machines now, so science has come to the rescue. So Simon Kirliani in 1939 accidentally discovered that if an object on a photographic plate is connected to a source of high voltage, an aura or corner of electrical discharge can be photographed. So this discovery rocked the science, proving finally the existence of aura. So several experiments were conducted upon the finding. One such studies involved is Kirliani photographs of picked leaves. There's one in the right corner here. As they withered, the photographs showed their auras. So, and not only just of leaves now, you can photograph anything now, and you can pick up the aura around it, and the energy that's surrounding it, that's around it. So now, the Kirliani effect has spread internationally now, and it's well renowned and well known, and has been used for numerous experiments. And it has even been used to detect stress in athletes. It just has phenomenal implications and uses for it. Now, energetic frequencies. Let's talk about that. So how does all this energy work tie into your life? Okay. Well, the answer lies in the revolutionary research by Dr. Hawkins. As a psychiatrist and a conscious researcher, he combined the discovery that all atoms and subatoms were nothing more than energy, with leading research on human awareness into scientifically validated doctorate dissertation. I think this was his dissertation, and it proved that all objects have energy. Okay. Furthermore, all this energy vibrates on a scale of consciousness, and then you can see the scale of consciousness here. Yeah. Now, Dr. Hawkins was able to develop a map and map out the scale using applied kinesiology and muscle testing. Now, unable to keep this breakthrough knowledge in labs and school, Dr. Hawkins summed up all of the research in his groundbreaking book, The Power versus Force, The Anatomy of Consciousness. If you haven't read the book, I highly recommend it to go and read it. So now the question begs, where are you on the scale of consciousness? So imagine, look at the scale now. It's a scale from 0 to 1,000. Now, if you have this with the highest state, 1,000 is the highest state a human being can attain. So that's pure consciousness, okay? If you reach this level, you will be enlightened master, a yogi master, someone, you know, who's phenomenal. If you reach this level, you will be an enlightened master, like I said. But at the lowest end of the spectrum is someone who is not thriving at all. So to determine this, where you are on the scale, you know, Dr. Hawkins used muscle testing, and muscle testing is, again, I haven't got the time to talk about it now, but muscle testing, if you look at Google it up, it's a way to ask questions and get your body to respond, and it gives you the answers. And you can test anything on this scale because everything on the planet vibrates somewhere on the scale. So mapping out your vibration frequency. So let's take a look at the scale a bit closer. So you can see on the bottom, on the end of the scale, is guilt and shame. So that's a 20 and 30. So if you feel guilty, I mean, shame is even worse than guilt. So if you are really ashamed of something, you really are vibrating at about 20, which is really, really poor. As you reach up, so even anger, which is 150, is better. Okay, so this is the reason why anger is much higher, because anger is moving the energy past your apathy. So the lower energies are shame, guilt, apathy, grief, fear. And as you move up, anger, which sounds like a really detrimental emotion, but is better than being guilty and shameful, because then you're just stuck in a pattern. Yeah. And there are two great spiritual growths, barriers, that Dr. Hawkins has pointed out time and time again. The first one is 200. And the other one is 500. Now, 200 is a level of courage and moves humanity from destructive and harmful behavior to a lifestyle that serves and benefits. So right now, the average level of energy on Earth is about approximately about 207, 210. It's around that much. The next barrier is around 500, which is love or above. So when you vibrate at this life, at 500 above, life becomes absolutely drastically different. Love, joy, and abundance are suddenly within your grasp. Pain, stress, and struggles seem to melt away, and you become a magnet for what you truly desire. Okay, but if you are vibrating below 500, and unfortunately many people are, actually most people are, then this would become your new target. Okay, this is the level you have to achieve if you want to create a life of your desires. You have to be above 500 or above. Okay. And one of the interesting things that Dr. Hawkins said, that he discovered that your energy doesn't affect you, it affects life, it affects those around you, it affects your surroundings too. So one person operating at a level of 500 above can lift, now listen to this, one person can lift 750,000 people who are vibrating at 200. It's a phenomenal concept. So keeping this in mind, if you surround yourself with high vibrating people, you will feel better about yourself, you'll be more optimistic, less stressful and happier. But you know this anyway. I'm telling you this from the energetic frequency point of view. You know that if you hang around with people who are happy, who are optimistic, who are go-getters, you will feel happy, and you'll be content yourself. And if there's somebody who's ambitious, you'll be gearing towards ambitious as well. You want to achieve more. Okay, so I'm not telling you anything new. I'm just telling you from a scientific point of view. Nothing that I've shared so far is new to you. I hope it's not new to you, but I'm just giving you scientific reasons to back it up, and giving you, the backing that you may need for your logical mind. So now coming to it, your energy can affect. Wait, why is not this movie? Oh, my computer just crashed, did it? Oh no, don't do this to me. Oh. Okay. So your electric frequency can physically affect objects around you. Okay. But Dr. Hawkins wasn't the only one who discovered this direct link between your energy and the physical world. Other researchers and universities have also proven this, and there's been some truly surprising studies. For example, the next study we have, if my computer decides to work, fabulous, it's working, okay? So another study that I will talk about is slowing down the death rate of blood cells. Now that seems to be pretty darn amazing, right? But somebody called Dr. William Broad, he did an experiment, and he showed that you can slow down the rate that the red blood cells die. Okay, William Broad began a study that would soon become to prove that led on to prove that humans can physically affect another object by their thoughts and energy. Okay, now Dr. Broad, along with a colleague at Mind Science Foundation in San Antonio, conducted an ingenious bio-PK experiment. Bio-PK is a study of how psychokinesis affects our biological organisms. Just a point there. So the proof was that in the lab dish. So Dr. Brood's experiment was that he proved that people could slow down the rate of red cells, the rate at which red cells die in a lab dish, while it may seem like, oh, it's not a big deal. It may seem like the effects are small, but the results were statistically significant and even reproducible by other scientists. This has been done again and again. His experiments essentially showed a direct link between our thoughts and energy and the things around us, including our blood cells. Okay, the next experiment I'm going to talk about is Dr. Emoto's crystals. I think a lot of people have heard of that too. And he proved the power of thought. Okay, so Dr. Emoto showed just how powerful our energy and thoughts are. In his amazing study, Dr. Emoto exposed regular water to different objects and environments. Essentially, he would project a thought onto a glass of water, and then the water froze. The resulting water would crystallize and was then examined under a microscope. Now, when he did this, he found when a regular glass of water had a piece of paper with a higher vibration word like love or joy taped onto it, the water crystals were beautiful patterns that were in color and had perfect symmetry. However, now this is the amazing part. When a glass of water, same water, had a piece of paper with the word hate, anger, all of those sorts of horrible emotions taped onto it, the water crystals were rough, opaque, and in a state of chaos. So if the words on the paper, can you just imagine if the words on the paper taped onto the flask can have that effect on water, what kind of effect that could have on you, considering we're about 80% water anyway? That just blows my mind when I think about that experiment. Now, so your energy frequency can also physically affect objects around you, like you just said. But we can also, there's such thing as a Maharishi effect. So I'm just quickly going to talk about this now. The last thing is Maharishi effect. In 1960, the famous Maharishi Mahesh Yogi predicted that if 1% of the population practiced transcendental meditation, there would be a measurable improvement for the entire population. Okay, Well, sure enough, in the late 70s, this phenomenon was documented, with just 1% of the community practicing this transcendental meditation. Notable drops were in crimes, and when crimes were emerged, there was a less hostility, and the general quality of the light for the respective communities really increased. Okay, now since then, I mean, since that experiment, over 600 scientific research studies have been conducted at more than 200 universities and across 30 countries to see how this Maharishi effect, can be used, and it's been documented and again and again and again. In Washington D.C. in 1993, they found that a maximum 15.6% effect was noted because of this Maharishi effect. So, I mean, great movers and shakers of our times had huge supporters of Maharishi, and they include David Lynch and the Beatles. I mean, the Maharishi effect is well documented now in all the experiments. Now, then the next question begs, how does this apply to you? Now, before I go on, are there any questions? Let me see. Do we have any questions, guys? Any questions at all? Let me see. Do we have any questions at all? No. Okay. Okay. So everything's cool? Okay, good. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. So everything's perfect. That's fantastic. Right. Okay, then. So how does this apply to you and the law of attraction? Now, not only do your thoughts have a direct influence on your body and mental state, but on your surroundings, circumstances, opportunities, and everything else in your life. The first principle, okay? Understand sympathetic vibrations, like attracts like. Did you know that the two middle C tuning forks laying side by side, and if you hit one of them, the other one will vibrate itself? Like musical notes, everything in the universe vibrates. When something is vibrating, it will attract whatever is on the same wavelength. As human beings, we vibrate. Our feelings, which are fueled by what we think about. When we think about something bad, we feel bad. When we think about something happy thoughts, we feel good. Those feeling vibrations attract the same wavelength. Vibrations by deliberation of default. Okay. The second principle. Okay. Raise your vibrations and the importance of feeling good. There are only two types of feelings, good and bad. Have you ever noticed that when you wake up in bad mood, your day seems to be spiral downwards? You sleep through your alarm, you stub your toe, you tear a button on your shirt, you arrive late to work and get yelled at by your boss. The law of attraction responds to your negative emotions, low vibrations, by bringing you more of the negative situations. But when you wake up and feel, when you wake up feeling good, you'll find that the more good things happen, such as landing an account, receiving money in the mail, or claiming a prime parking spot on a crowded street. Yeah. So whatever happens when your thoughts are vibrating a low, or a high frequency, your vibration frequency will attract emotions and physical manifestations of things that vibrate at the same frequency. That's the underlying point for the law of attraction. If your energetic frequency is low, you'll be attracting into your life disruptions and difficulties. But if you shift your energetic frequency to high levels, you'll start attracting a life that serves you, one that's aligned to your true whole self. So I discovered this, that people operate from two parts of themselves. I call them the lower self and the higher self, okay? So people will operate from either the low or the higher self based on where the dominant emotions lie. So if you live with joy, happiness, you will operate from that level. So what keeps us stuck in the lower energy fields? Now, working with one-on-one clients, I realized that when I cleared the negative thoughts, beliefs, and feelings about certain subjects and events in their life, their personal energetic frequency would change. This is because their thoughts, beliefs, and ideas are often attached to fear, anger, or guilt, or shame, or one of the lower energetic frequencies. The other reason we often operate from lower self is because of a societal programming and influence. If you grew up in a society where it was norm to be violent, or norm to be angry, or norm to worry, these energetic frequencies will dominate you. The same is true in family. All the thoughts, beliefs, and ideas you receive from your family were either from a higher self or lower self. When you accept these ideas and programs and thoughts, they become part of your programming and you will not even be aware of them. So what's your higher self? Now, your higher self, your infinite self, on the other hand, is connected to the higher energetic frequencies like love, peace, joy, gratitude, and it acts like a magnet, creating powerful attractive fields that bring all the fascinating things you desire into your life. And the best part is that it's very easy for anyone to change their life if they simply choose to connect and allow it to allow the infinite self. It's just a choice. First, you make a choice to move along the higher path. Once you've made that decision, the right tools will unfold before you. Now, this is as far as NLP and conventional psychology goes. That's what's the missing link. Okay. So there is a missing. So the greatest challenge. Where are we? Okay. So this is as far as NLP and conventional psychology goes. So what is the missing link? Yeah. Now, there is a missing link. The aura clearing focuses that I talk about. So, you've done things like this is the greatest challenge that we have. So you've done things like, you've gone to all these workshops, you've done all these, read all these self-help books, but you're still stuck. You remain stuck. So this is the challenge we're going to talk about now. Aura clearing, it focuses on clearing the energy field or the auric field, okay? The aura or the auric field or the electromagnetic field in the light body that surrounds the physical body. Most people have seen unseen blockages that can identify and remove on all levels of awareness during the auric clearing sessions. Many people are carrying unfinished businesses, belief systems, thought forms, paradigms, contracts, etc. of many lifetimes in the soul memory. During an auric clearing, we can energetically transmute soul fragmentations in this and past lifetimes. These fragmentations and blockages are seen by clairvoyants such as myself as holes and in dark sight. I missed it, haven't we? There we are. There we are. There we are. Okay, so during an auric clearing, we can energetically transmute soul fragmentations in this and past lifetimes. These fragmentations and blockages are seen by clairvoyants as holes or dark areas in the auric field, which represent unresolved issues and stagnated life force. The auric attachments are often represent the greatest challenge in emotional and mental and spiritual evolution. Now, this is why many people often spend years on workshops, reading self-help books, and but they still keep feeling stuck and getting themselves into the same situations. Until we permanently transmute these auric attachments from all levels of multidimensional awareness, including the neural networks associated with them, they will keep activating again and again. And every time they activate, we charge them with more emotional energy and they get more solidified with a stronger magnetic frequency. Now, stay with me. I know this is a bit sci-fi. Solidified energetic blockages often manifest as a disease, and the magnetic charge from these auric attachments will attract us to people, events, and times and places with a similar low frequency, thus making it very difficult to manifest the desired reality. Okay, so in an auric clearing session, we scan the multidimensional body using scalar languages and sacred codes, and we communicate with a higher person's subconscious mind. Okay, so this is where we are. We do that. Okay, and we do that to permanently transmute these attachments. Then the person will recover the golden soul fragments that represents pearls of wisdom from the issue of being being resolved. And at the end of the session, we ask them to make a download of new codes, new templates, and new soul programming from the higher self. So the person now has higher frequency, and the reality can change because now we can attract the right people, places, times, events that resonate with the higher frequency. Okay, a person's health and the experience of life, a person's reality, has its basis in the holographic recorded attitudes, beliefs, emotions, and these are the magnetic forces that underlie illness, health, and they either attract or repel potential experiences, relationships, and how they shape how we see the world. by removing these important blockages and unwanted attachments from our unseen and subtle bodies and unplugging them from the neural networks of the brain at the quantum level, the person's life starts to change and bloom. Make sense? Any questions, people? Any questions? I know this is a bit, it is a bit sci-fi, but stick with me. Stay with me. Okay. So when we are connected to source or God through rotating fields of energy that come from source down through universal, galactic, planetary, and other personal energy fields, if we have blockages like occupants or portals in our bioenergetic field, then these affect our ability to aggregate this energy from source and affect our potential at one atonement. With this gone, we have much more energy and we will be able to tap into the higher dimensions of consciousness that are closest to source. Make sense? Yeah? So where are these blockages? Now, here we are. Chakras. Chakras are the energy centers. We have 7 chakras within the physical body structure, which are located in the base of the spine, lower intestines, abdomen, heart, throat, the pineal, and the pituitary gland. And these correspond with different emotion frequencies. So the kind of emotion determines where the blockage will be located in the chakras. For example, an unresolved experience of heartbreak or rejection in love would probably have a blockage in the heart chakra. An experience of guilt of not speaking the truth will have blockage in the throat chakra. The remaining 8 chakras are called morphogenic chakras, and they exist within the auric field. In the auric clearings, we focus on the 7 embodied chakras. Yeah. The types of auric attachments and how they affect a person. So every minute you hold on to emotional pain from your past is a waste of your precious life. Grant yourself the permission to completely release yourself from the past and any past incidents. So the type of auric attachments and how they affect people. There are few kinds of blockages which affect the flow of life force in body. These are not solid in the material sense, but they are solid in the faster time slows. In the 7 subtle bodies that operate within the faster frequency time flows, these are blockages of life force energies, and they become solidified in subtle bodies due to stress, trauma, and unresolved emotions such as fear, hatred, and self-pity. The emotions in the human being can become quite powerful, and these manifest as blockages that look very real to a clairvoyant such as myself, who can see these as different frequencies, and they can even show up in the auric machines. So these blockages or emotional thought forms often look like grayish orbs, which I just showed you before, and they represent accumulation of emotional energy that has not been owned or as wisdom, or that is unresolved and not forgiven. These orbs become condensed, solidified in subtle bodies to locate themselves in body's chakra or energy centers, and according to the frequency. In other words, each of these 7 energy centers or chakras corresponds with different emotional frequency. So the kind of emotion determines where the blockage will be located in the chakra. For example, an unresolved experience of heartbreak or rejection in love would probably have a blockage in the heart chakra. An experience of guilt of not speaking the truth would have a blockage in the throat chakra. Yeah, makes sense? I've gone through this pretty quickly, so any questions, let me know, please. Oh, good? Oh, good. Oh, fantastic. So occupants. An occupant is a soulless. So what is an occupant? An occupant is a soulless thought form that thinks it owns the body and is hindering a person's evolution. They come in during childhood up to the age of 12 during a traumatic event, because children are so open to energies, or they can be created by a person in an analogical state of mind. An occupant resonates with the frequency of the attitudes or trauma, be it abuse, accidents, illnesses, or stress, and attaches itself to the person somewhere in the pranic tube. And we scan for them from head to feet. Each of these thought forms that can and sometimes have a very strong magnetic field that attracts undesirable experiences and relationships. These are top priority removals, as occupants interfere with more natural flow of people, places, times, things, and events. And when they are removed and their influence has removed, the person's experience of people, places, times, things, and events manifests more in accordance with the person's desires. Occupants often enter a heart, the chakra, sealed during periods of illness, trauma, or stress. We scan the light body systematically from top to toe, identifying the different occupants and and the lesser thought forms associated with them, and then we remove them as we go. Discarnates. Yay! Next ones. One of the secrets that most of the sleeping masses are unaware of is that there are beings around you that you cannot see, and some of these are very malicious. They are called discarnates. Beings that have died. These are beings that have died and have not gone through the tunnel of the plane of bliss. They're stuck on the astral level, the fourth dimension. So what they do is attach to people here, either because of past karmic ties or to the person, or simply because they are symphonying the person's emotional energy. If the emotionally charged fear, rage, anger, grief, disappointment, or frustration, then we attract discarnates that resonate with that energy, and basically the energy for food. Discarnates are earthbound. They are people that we've known in the past lives. They usually feel they have a right to dominate the persons they're attached to, or there's some kind of karmic contract, such as you betrayed me or you abandoned me. I mean, you said that you would not be with me forever, etc., etc. It's a bond of hatred. Either way, they're punishing the person that they are hanging around. We can actually see when a different discarnate takes over a person's personality when they're speaking, because the voice changes. This is actually what multiple personality is. Many discarnates attached to one person. So, for example, have you ever said something to your spouse? So, for example, have you ever said something to your spouse or partner that you didn't know where it came from? Or have you ever just blown up and reacted wildly for no reason? That is where a discarnate has come and become active in your field. And since most people are constantly emotionally energizing fear and unaccomplished wants, they attract the whole party of discarnates to their field and wonder why they can't have a stable relationship. Focus long enough to get anything done or connect to the higher self. Completely crazy. So they're trying to connect to the higher self, and the discarnates blocks and the connection. When they hear voices, it's actually the voices of discarnates, not the higher self. When they are gone, we can feel more freedom from influence, and we have better peace of mind. In other words, their voice in our heads are now gone, right? Next things, portals. How are we doing for time? Good. Portals have openings in one or more chakras that are like a vacuum for people's adverse thought forms. We find them on people who wish to heal the pain and suffering others, consciously or unconsciously, by taking upon themselves other people's burdens, their undesirable thought forms generated by discordant emotions. Portals have potential to cause health problems, depression, and energy loss. We've closed the portals permanently by obtaining a subconscious release of the emotional trauma that caused the portal to open. They are vertical and are found in the center of the body, along with the pranic tube that extends from the top of the head at the ankles. Wormholes. They look like, to clairvoyant like myself, like tunnels and are connected to one person's life body to another dimension. And these entities are feeding on the person's soul energy through the wormhole. Finally, id. Id is a soul fragment of ourselves that is alive and well and affecting us from the past. They embody an attitude of belief, a concept of paradigm, is that we identify with. They are our past lives or identities. Since time is not actually linear but simultaneous, these unseen yet very alive selves haunt us from our unfinished businesses from our past lives. Etherically, they show up as black orbs with the vertical axis of black and white stars and specks in the middle. So your 3-step formula. The first thing for you to do is identify your blocks. The second thing I want you to do is, so what I've just talked to you about, identify your blocks. The second thing I want you to do is clear your energetic field. And thirdly, visualize your goal and set a manifestation process in motion that in this heightened vibrational state. So the first thing you need to do is identify your blocks. You need to, from all the information I've given you, you should be in a position now to be able to identify what blocks you have. Oh, let me see. Do you have any questions, by the way? Questions? No questions? Perfect. Okay. So, yes, so what I was saying. Perfect. So, let's see. Okay, so identify your blocks. Then we're going to clean. Next thing to do is clean your aura. So you've few options with this. Your energy field can become cluttered with emotional baggage or blocked energy. Here are a few options for you to cleanse your aura. You can go in the sunlight, and this is for a basic cleansing of your aura. Go in sunlight, go outside and get some healthy sun exposure, and that will revitalize your energy. Secondly, you can try swimming, especially in salt water. So if you have access to ocean or salt water pool, go for a quick dip, and that can help. Salt is really physically and emotionally cleansing for removing minor physical psychic debris. Bathing in Epsom salt is another great way. A bath with Epsom salt is at home way to stimulate the flow of your energy. Meditation is another great way as well, because it can help release negative energy and emotions. Healing your aura, on the other hand, now, just like your mental well-being, the vital energy of your aura can become damaged due to traumas experienced in life. To heal your trauma, you may need to get the help of a professional to work through your negative feelings that you have and release them and find peace. If you'd like to help, if you'd like to get the help of a professional, you can seek a licensed counselor, or you may find a clairvoyant who can help you identify your blockages and help you with the energy aura. On the other hand, you can try these techniques and clear the psychic damage and release the negative energy. Forgiveness, not only letting go of the pain in your past, but forgiving the person who caused it and clear the negative energy from your trauma, from your aura. Visualization, imagine a white light filling your body and sending it out throughout your skin as it fills the space in and around you. The white light pushes any dark, any clouds past out of your aura. Yeah, that's another great way as well. Visualization of your goals. So the last thing I want you to do is, once you've cleansed your aura, once you've done this, you're now in a heightened frequency state. So now do your visualizations in this heightened state. And you can use any of the popular techniques, meditation, vision boards, etc. And it's a great way to then get the law of attraction working for you, because now that your aura is cleared, now the law of attraction will work for you, and you will get the law of attraction bringing you things that you want. So what do I recommend? I recommend seriously challenge your uncovered beliefs and look for your own auric blockages and attachments. Clear your auric field, and lastly, visualize your goals in this heightened energetic state. So I want to help your exact steps to completely new energy, action, and destiny with money. So what I have is something completely new. I've turned my knowledge into a truly transformational program, which goes beyond mindset, law of attraction, tapping, or any other modality. It's specifically and laser focused on auric attachments. So how do I clear aura? I scan the multidimensional light body. I use using scale language, energetic directing techniques, and sacred codes of absolute harmonic universe. I communicate with your higher self and subconscious mind to permanently transmute these attachments. Then I go and recover the soul, golden soul fragments. And lastly, we download new course templates and new soul programming for your higher self. Thus, you are now in higher frequency, and your reality can change by attracting people, places, and events that resonates with this new higher frequency. So your choices today, you can change from the costly way it's been to a whole new energy and reality in your life, especially money. Take all the aha moments and go it alone. Or 2, the path of certainty. Let me be your guide and help you step by step to ensure your success. So what I recommend for you is to book, to have a true, deep, embodied transformation, specifically in money. Book a call with me. Unleash your inner power. And to become more live, on fire, focused, connected with your true passion yourself, and in action, and remove the splinter. Specifically, shift from forever from this costly way things have been to what is truly, truly possible for you. Huh? Okay. So book a call with me if you want to clear your energy and you're conscious to earn and create money in alignment with your highest joy and within vibration. If you've seen this eye-opening process will reveal the biggest conflicts and hidden agendas in your inner soul, and motivate you to move forward, I would recommend you book a call with me today. So I think that's everything, unless you have questions. And do we have any questions? Do we have anybody asking questions? Oh, no, good. Okay, then. So I think I've done everything. We are within the time limit that I set for myself. If there are no more questions, I think I will bless you. I have a lovely evening, and I will speak to you very, very soon. Book a call with me as soon as possible. Okay. Bye for now.